What's up, people? World famous Method Peter, you're watching World Famous TV. I'm excited right now because I've been following a lot of things on the internet. Shout out to Jack Frost for his sources because that guy's channel is lit. That guy's channel's lit. I've been a fan of his from day one. I've been watching him from day one. There is a rumor right now that he put out there. Now, it's a rumor. The only place I heard it was BBN Network. And you know what? Shout out to Jack Frost for all the hard work that guy does. You know what? I hope one day this platform gets to the same heights that guy's platform is. We is live in the building. World famous Peter TV. There's a rumor right now out there. Now, I don't know where he gets his sources from, but he's good at it. And I want to tell you, he has not been wrong yet. He's been 99.9% on top of his game when it comes to Tekashi69. Tekashi69, if you don't know, was actually a rap star that came out a couple of years back, made a couple of underground videos. People started rocking with them. After that, he figured out a formula, and the formula was having gangs and gang members that were tough guys in the background. He tried with the Crips first. Then he went from the Crips to the Bloods. The Blood guys he had connections with. So he ended up hooking up with Shoddy, who hooked him up with, Snow Billy, Mel Matrix, all these other guys who were around. And they were all badasses. He cut a deal with these guys to go out. You give me protection, I will go out of my way. If you give me protection, I will be more than happy to go out of my way to give the gang money as a compliment for my protection. This is what he did, not knowing what he got into. When he got into that whole problem, the problem that he ran across and he was not sure of, was it actually going to come back at him? Now, he wanted to be part of that gang. He did the hand signals, all the blood shit, and everything else. They accepted him, or they at least attempted to pretend like they accepted him into the game. They put it all out there for the public to check out. They put it all out there because they wanted this kid to actually not keep getting as much money as possible. Here's a kid who had a couple of billion streams on the internet, on Spotify, on Instagram. The kid was lit up like a Christmas tree. Now, the question is, there's the rumor that was put out on the internet through sources, heard possibly, and Jack Frost put it out there in a video because I watch all of his stuff. I rock all of his stuff. You know what? Allegedly, it's a rumor. Allegedly. Let's shout out to the influence. Man, that guy rocks. You know what? Subscribe to this page. Also subscribe to BBN Network. Jack Frost is lit. That page is lit. I'm telling you, the guy's been right 99.9% of the time. And you know why? He's a good friend, and he's become a good friend. And everybody that's been out here is actually cool as shit. Everybody that's subscribed to my page has also been cool as shit. And I'll tell you something. If this rumor is true that the government's going to drop all charges against Tekashi69, all charges, they absolutely did not want him, and it's a rumor. It's only a rumor. It was reported on the BBN. He heard through some kind of sources. Shout out to Jack Frost. Shout out to the rumor, that page he just put out. I'll tell you now, it's a rumor. Tekashi69 is going to possibly have all of his charges dropped. He had one dropped the other day. It was a gun charge for a semi-automatic machine gun that Shoddy put in his house. It's a rumor. That charge got dropped, but there's a rumor that the rest of his charges are going to be totally dropped. And he's going to be released in 72 hours. Now, he's definitely getting released in 72 hours. He got the Pier 1 letter. He's got all the extra backing that he did. He did the trial. He testified. Tekashi69 they tried to make him feel like he was part of the gang, tried to make him feel like he was a gang member, but he was also stuck because they were extorting money from him. They were giving him a hard time. They were threatening him, threatening to hurt his family, threatening to hurt him, threatening to hurt his daughter. And although there are some situations with that, because I'm a dad, I would have at least stepped up to the plate, but he's young. He'll figure it out later, because if you're a dad, You always stay a dad. You may not like your mother, but you know what? Baby mamas sometimes get in the way. But then again, there's rumors on her that she smashed the whole team. So, you know what? When it comes down to the end of the day, I don't blame him for actually telling the truth. And maybe he is, and maybe he isn't. But you know what? Because he's really not a gang member and he actually 100% was just a civilian, I don't blame him for talking. You had a choice of 47 years or a year in jail. He did the year in jail. He's already been over a year. There's a rumor, though, that the government's dropping all charges. And if the government drops all the charges against Tekashi69, what's going to happen is he had those other rape allegations against him prior to this. Those charges were already dropped and dismissed, too, which means if they drop all charges, Tekashi69 will have no probation hanging over his head. Tekashi69 will be totally a free and clear man. And would you think the 10,000 Projects, Elliot Grange, and his record label is going to offer him a $10 million deal without 100%, knowing that he was going to get out and this was going to go down? There was a lot riding on this. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He's going to get out, and he's going to be on top of the world, and he's going to be lit. He's going to be bigger than he's ever been when he comes out because he's going to put out a couple of super hits, and you better believe it's going to go through the roof. And now I haven't been wrong yet. I know I'm making a second video on this, but you need to understand something. This kid has had 1 billion streams since he's been locked up. 1 billion streams since he's been locked up. 1 billion. Between Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube that we're on right now. He's had 1 billion streams. He's made $5.5 million in streaming and hasn't done a tour. He's done $5.5 million in streaming and he hasn't advertised. He hasn't been on Instagram. And you know what's funny? People like me and you and any other person that's out here that's rocking that kid is what's kept that kid going. Now, whether we all agree whether a Ratton was good or Ratton wasn't good, you know what? Let's be real hypothetical in this one for all those hardcore gangsters that watch this. You know as well as I know, if you were a 22 or 23-year-old kid and they gave you a choice, 1 year in jail or 47 years and the rest of your life in jail, talk or don't talk. You want to really try to tell me 100%? You wouldn't talk to get your sentence down to 2 years? I know some of you have done hardcore time. I know some of you have done many years in jail. But in reality, you're a 23-year-old kid now, 22-year-old kid. Your life was going great. You got millions of dollars. You're smashing chicks everywhere. You're doing all types of shit. And all of a sudden, boom, the government says you have a choice. You do a year in jail, testify, clear your name, and we'll help you start a fresh new lead on life. Or you're going to do 47 years and we'll see you when you're 69 years old, like your tattoos. Take a pick. You know you're talking. I don't care how much of a gangster some of you are. I don't care how badass some of you are. I'm telling you, you talk. You talk, you know you talk. 2 years out of your life or a year out of your life and stay in jail and you come out and you're free and clear to do whatever with your millions of dollars. Or open up your mouth. Don't open up your mouth. Say nothing. Spend the rest of your life in jail away from everybody. What are you going to do? I don't care if you're from the street. I don't care if you're from the street code. I don't care if you think you got a code of ethics. If you got a kid at home, you're 22, 23, your life is in front of you, you had the world by the balls, you had millions of dollars, you had all that clout chasing, gaming shit you had going on. The government tells you you're going to do 47 years, or if you talk and give us what we want, we're going to give you a year in jail and time served. You know you'd open up your mouth and do 1 year in jail and walk out. You could be the baddest gangster on the planet. It's all good when you think it's cool to go to jail. It's all good when you think, yeah, no problem. I'm going to go to jail. I'm a badass. I'm going to do my time and get out. Everybody I know who's been to jail, cousins, family members, people I know, kids from the street, everything. Anybody I know that went to jail, when they got to jail, all they wanted to do was come home. All they wanted to do was just get their time out of the way and come home. Now, what if you got extorted? They smashed your baby's mama. They did a train on her. They ran around. They did shit. They had all this clout going against them. Multiple issues, multiple problems, and everything else. People extorted money from you. They robbed you. They took everything you owned, everything you worked hard for. Put a bounty on your head. If you don't give us the money, we're going to hurt you. You hurt your mother, hurt your family. And they all turn against you, but they try to use that as leverage against you. What would you do? You know firsthand. I know some of you have done time. I know some of you can't believe the deal that this kid got. But I know if you had a choice of 1 year in jail, talk, get out of everything, move away and start a new life, or do 47, you know you're talking. You could be the baddest gangster in the world. Mob guys. I'm Italian. I'm really Italian. I came up in an Italian life. I got a street code too. Okay, I'm from the street like some of you are from the street. The only difference on where I came out of, I came on the Italian end of the block, on the Italian end of the side of the street, where you had guys, where you burned the cross, the holy picture in your hand if you were a made dude. Okay, I come from that end of the street. I didn't come from the gang end of the street. Some of you came from the gang end of the street. You got jumped in, you were Bloods, you were Crips, you were Latin Kings, whatever you are. I come from a different end of the street where you worked and you worked your way up and you had a code of ethics that you had to follow in the Italian world. I'm going to say it like that. And at the same time, when you're in the Italian world and you have that code of ethics, if you're going to be a made dude and you were going to be made and you were really Italian, really Sicilian, really 100% in your heritage, you had that background, guess what? 100% that code of ethics that you're supposed to follow, guess what? The same way some of these gangs have a code and a we'll call it an initiation because everyone's different. There's an initiation when you got to get in the mob too. You know what the problem is? I couldn't be initiated. You know why? I'm half Irish. You can always be an associate of something, but you're never going to be initiated if you ain't full-blooded Italian. That's real facts. What it comes down to at the end of the day, you can get extorted money from. They can take money from you. They can rob you. They can cause you to run around. But you know what? Two wrongs don't make it right because he ran around too. But he ran around and found better. She ran around. There's a difference. If she ran around and slept with somebody he didn't know, it would have been different. You slept with the whole gang. You banged everybody in the platform. You banged your whole gang. You banged everybody Tekashi was rocking with, some of his best friends and everything else. What is wrong with you when you do that? That's a problem. That's a problem. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. That's wrong. She broke the code, the man code, the boy code, the real code. If somebody breaks up with their wife and you're friends with that wife and you're friends with him, you don't go smash his wife. That's a code. You don't break that code. You might want to smash his wife, but you ain't going to do it. You know why? It comes back against you. And these rumors that if they drop all the charges, he's not going to get out and celebrate. He is. And when he gets out, he's going to get out and it's going to be a party. And you know what? He will have full-blown protection from Elliot Grange and from the government because the government can't release him either without having protection because he's not in witness protection because everybody knows who he is, but they have to grant him free protection or some kind of government protection for at least 5 years like the president because he helped them testify. Because if they released him to the street, they know that somebody will try to kill him. But at least if he has 4, and he's supposed to have 4 armed guys with him everywhere he goes, along with his regular security, the government got to protect him and give him that armed security. They have to by law. It was either that or go to the witness protection program. Look it up on Google. It's real facts. Moral of the story is this. If the rumor's true and they are dropping everything, what's going to happen now if that actually comes out? Because you know what? He's going to tell his story. and he's going to make a story real, and he's going to come at it with 100 miles an hour, and he's going to put everything out there and put out all the facts. But you know what? If the rumor's true about Tekashi, that he's going to have all this protection, all that money and everything, and he's going to have a whole new life to start over from zero, do his family right, do his friends right, do the real people that stuck by him right, and actually have a real career. You know what? If it came down to a year versus 47, you know you'd rat. If it came down to a year versus 47, you know you'd open up your mouth if you were a gang member or not. If it came down to a year or 47, if this rumor is true, you could have everything dropped. You know what? When that kid comes out, he's going to be bigger than life. I'll tell you how much security he's going to need to have, but he'll be able to get it. He's going to need Michael Jackson style security. And you know what? He's going to get it. You know why? This kid is going to break records like you've never seen. It's like an Illuminati coming out of nowhere. This kid knows the formula, and when he comes out, he's going to rock that formula again. And when he rocks the formula, people will rock with him. I guarantee it. Because as much as everybody talks and says shit, they're going to try to be his best friend. And you know what's funny? That kid ain't going to trust nobody. If he thought he could trust his friends that were around him, and this rumor is true that he's actually getting everything dropped, you think he's going to trust anybody when he gets out, except for the important influence he has to trust around him? You know who nobody's brought up yet? Jade, his girlfriend. You know what? As much as she's a clout chaser, because I can tell she is, shout out to that bitch for sticking by him for a whole year. I think she sees the bag, though. I think she sees the bag. Now, if she can prove her loyalty to him, they'll be all right. If she can't prove her loyalty, she'll just be another victim that got a G-Wagon. Let's see what happens if the Tekashi rumor is true that he's getting all his charges dropped. And let's see what type of thing happens after. You're watching World Famous Peter TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications, because you know what? This channel's going to light up like a Christmas tree the day he comes out. I guarantee it.